Hello and welcome to the channel. It is AvidExpert here, and today I'm going to be discussing Mafia 3. Now, a lot of people were hyping about this game and everybody was looking forward to it. I mean, everywhere I looked, everybody's comments about the game was just hype. They just thought it was going to be an absolutely amazing game, but I'm glad few people did have criticisms because it's getting apparent now that the industry is really starting to screw over us gamers in general and manipulate us and make people sign NDAs when they're doing reviews and doing review embargoes and things like that. It's absolutely ridiculous. And it looks like Mafia 3 is continuing in the latest trend of this. So basically, before the game was even out, we realized that the game was only going to be 30 FPS on the PC version, and this was a little bit of a nuisance, but it wasn't any major flag to be honest. And they did say as well that they'll have a patch that brings it up to 60 FPS to unlimited FPS as well, and that, you know, you can choose what you want, so that makes everything seem fair. However, once the game came out and after we got the 60 FPS patch, it's been apparent that this game has way more issues than what was said before. This game is a glaring oversight in the industry. I don't understand how they put this on the PC. It is fairly obvious why the reviews were so late and things, because this game is just absolute shit. Now, I don't want to say the game is actually shit. To be honest, there is a lot of redeeming factors about the game. It's just they're going to need to do a lot of patches to actually fix this stuff, and that's what I'm going to show you here, guys. If you were still on the fence over whether to get the game or not, I'm just going to show a few of the issues that may be able to make you decide, and they definitely need to patch these things before people should be buying it in masses. So the first thing I want to note, guys, is that the graphics aren't actually that amazing. Now, if you look at the first introduction level, they do throw in a lot of lighting effects and stuff, but I think this is to actually try and trick you away from seeing how low resolution the textures are in general, and just everything doesn't look as good as it should be. It kind of looks like a last generation game, to be honest. And the other thing is I'm not a graphics whore, guys. Graphics are important to a game, that's for sure, but they're not the most central thing, and to be honest, if you have a unique art style, you don't need to be going for good graphics. Like, look at Borderlands 2, for example. It doesn't have realistic, well, I should say it does have good graphics, but it doesn't have photorealistic graphics. When you're developing a game like Mafia 3 and you're going for a very photorealistic look, it's just kind of a little bit of a disappointment to have such bad textures all over the place. Now, this would actually be fine regardless if the gameplay was still fun enough to make up for it, and that the gameplay should be the central part about the game itself anyway, right? But the thing is that in tandem with the bad graphics, we have absolutely horrendous optimization for the PC. Benchmarks across multiple websites have shown absolutely abysmal performance, and a variety of Steam users are also having issues. I'm not sure whether this is specific graphics cards or coincidence, but this is definitely not looking good for a start. Optimization is important, especially when your graphics are not anything near any other modern game at the moment. On top of the bad graphics, people are also reporting popping in issues, having vehicles spawn on top of their vehicle and blowing them up, among other issues, and all of this is just generally not looking good for the game. These need to be patched in. Now, I'm not saying that the game's never going to be good, I'm just saying the developers need to look at these issues and resolve them quickly. The game's releases also come out with a plethora of technical bugs and issues that prevent progression or just cause minor nuisances overall. Mirrors, for example, aren't showing reflections, and that could just be a part of the graphics, but some mirrors do show reflections and the effects are all distorted, so I would definitely put that down to a bug, or they've designed it in some very odd way. Sometimes cars will refuse to start and you cannot actually turn them on. Delivery missions being incapable of being completed or interacted with, as well as the AI for NPCs is very inconsistent and shoddy. A lot of people are complaining poor performance and difficulty when facing NPCs, as well as NPCs just taking bullets and not really fighting. The AI definitely needs to be revamped as well. Also, car and player customization isn't as big as in the previous game, with you mostly being able to only do physical upgrades rather than cosmetic ones. However, the developers apparently said that in future content updates, more car customization will be coming, which you can find that information on their official site. I'll link that in the video description. But car customization and character customization is a very important part of the game, and I don't think anybody should be criticizing the game based on what it should be or what it will be, but rather what it is now, and I think that's the fair way to do reviews, especially considering all the issues, the optimization, the 30 FPS limit, no customization, buggy textures and mirrors. Just all of this needs to be addressed very swiftly within this first month by the developers. One thing to note though is that the cosmetic DLCs apparently will be free as well, so that's a good thing at least. But again, why does it feel like we're missing features and just getting them back later? later rather than having them polished and released with the full game. It seems like games these days are released 3 months early, and then they take that 3 months to actually polish and update the game to the state that we should have had it in originally. Another thing is people are also reporting a plethora of crash issues, which definitely goes in tandem with the optimization and performance issues many users are reporting even on high-end SLI rigs. There are just so many little interactions as well from Mafia 2 that just seem missing from Mafia 3. The ability to use the bathrooms and little small touches like that, all the world details, they seem to have just rushed this game out completely. And sure, these things may come back in a future content DLC, but let's be real, the smaller stuff like this, the little polishes and shines, they're not gonna come back. It's gonna be the big things like car customization and clothing. So I really think we've been screwed, guys. We've been screwed hard. The fact that they didn't send review copies and basically did a review embargo, this definitely paints the picture with the bad release that they knew what this was. They wanted to cash in on as much money as they could as possible while providing a suboptimal game. Now, Mafia 3 is not a bad game, by the way. There is more than enough in the experience to have so much fun and really get a full 20 to 40 hours worth of gameplay out and not regret any of it. It's just the fact that they pushed it onto us this way. They didn't want us to know. After No Man's Sky, it almost feels like this is becoming too much now. Developers really need to change their tune, or we need to do something. This is actually disgusting that they can do things like this. They can push out a game with a 30 FPS limit that already has optimization issues and a plethora of bugs, and then they hype it up and don't let anybody post a negative word about it. I don't know about you guys anyway, but I'd like to hear what you think about it in the comments. I'm going to end the video here anyway, so if you enjoyed it, please leave a like and a subscribe, and as I said, if you want to leave a comment and I'll get back to you and discuss things with you, I would love that too. But for now anyway, have a beautiful day and peace.